Welcome, Baltz families, to this week's Sunday Storytime. Get ready to mark your calendars with this week's news and coming events, which will be followed by a news story for the week. Can't wait to find out what it is. And the final segment will be our Mindful Minute with Mrs. Papa. Stay tuned. In this week's events at Baltz, on January 18th, there is no school in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday.
No habrá clases el lunes 18 de enero en honor de cumpleaños de Martin Luther King.
Everybody at Baltz knows the 3 R's: be ready, be responsible, be respectful. Let's also think about the 3 W's for safety. Wear a mask, wash your hands, watch your social distance. Let's do this, let's be safe.
Todos conocemos las reglas en Baltz. Asegúrese de usar una mascarilla, lávate las manos y cuide su distancia social. Hagamos estas cosas para mantenernos a salvo.
Wednesdays are for asynchronous assignments. Students will complete assignments given by their teachers while they are at home. Some students might Zoom with their teachers or support staff. Regular on-campus or online schedules are for Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday and Friday, while Wednesdays are at home for everyone.
Los miércoles son para asignaciones asincrónicas. Los estudiantes completarán las tareas asignadas por sus maestros mientras están en casa. Algunos estudiantes pueden acercarse con los maestros o el personal de apoyo. Los horarios regulares en el campus o en línea son para lunes, martes, jueves y viernes.
I grew up with a famous father. My name is Martin Luther King III. But when I was a kid, my friends and family called me Marty, so no one would confuse me with my father, the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. When I was 5 years old, my dad gave me one of his most famous speeches.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Just as I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
I am the second of those 4 children he spoke about. There have been lots of books written about my father, but not a whole lot has been written about my dad. This book is about my daddy, what it was like to live with him, and how much I loved him.
My sister Yolanda, who we called Yoki, and I wanted to go to Funtown more than anything. Well, kids, you know Daddy's working very hard so that you and all children can go to Funtown. But it's not possible today, my daddy would say. Maybe next week. But that week never came. You just don't want to take us, Yoki wailed. And finally, my mother explained that we were not allowed in Funtown. The rides and the roller coasters were for white people only. That's how it was when I was growing up, and my dad fought to change that.
At home, though, my father was just Dad. He tossed the football with me, taught me how to shoot hoops, teased me, and played with me. He would lift me up and put me on top of the refrigerator. I imagined swinging from the ceiling fan as if I were flying my own airplane. Then I would let Daddy catch me as I fell into his arms.
Away from home, things were different. It wasn't always easy being the son of Martin Luther King Jr. "What's your name?" the 2 boys asked. "I don't remember," I said. I forgot. I knew it was wrong to lie. "Why'd you say that, Marty?" my mother asked later. "You know your name. It's your father's name." I knew, and I knew why I hadn't said my name, because I was afraid.
Some people didn't like my father's work. They said he was stirring up trouble. My father never stole anything, never hurt anyone. Even so, he was thrown in jail more than 30 times. He had the courage to stand up and say, "This law is unfair," and sometimes he was arrested for that.
Once, a neighbor was driving me home from school. On the radio, we heard that Reverend Martin Luther King and about 80 other people had been thrown in jail. I was terrified. I ran inside my house crying and asked my mother, "Why did Daddy go to jail? What did he do wrong?"
Mother hugged me. "Your dad went to jail to help people," she told me. "Some people don't have enough to eat, or comfortable homes, or clothes to wear. They are not as fortunate as we are. Daddy went to jail to make it possible for all people to have these things. Don't worry, Daddy will be coming back."
I carried her words close to my heart, and a year later when Daddy was arrested again, Yoki was afraid he wouldn't come back for Christmas. This time I was the one who consoled her. I said, "Don't cry, Yoki. Daddy will be back. He has to help the people. He's already helped some people, but he is to help some more people, and when he finishes, he'll be back."
My father was not the only one in danger. Many people were hurt or even killed as they tried to change unfair laws. Once, as I marched in a protest, I saw a pretty lady with a bandage over her nose. My mother explained that she'd been attacked by a police officer. The marchers were peaceful, but that didn't stop people from trying to hurt them. Even police officers sprayed marchers with fire hoses or turned dogs on them.
Later, a police officer came up to us with a huge dog that growled at me. I was terrified. "It's okay, Marty," my dad told me as he took my hand, and I felt safe. My dad was not a tall man, but he always made me feel like a giant. I was never afraid when I was with him.
No matter how bad it got, my dad never fought back. We must meet violence with nonviolence. We must meet hate with love, he always said. Nonviolence wasn't just for marches and protests. It was for us at home as well. One Christmas, my brother Dexter and I got toy guns for presents. Most of the other boys in the neighborhood played with guns, and we wanted to be just like them.
But we knew that guns were wrong. They were not toys. They were machines made to hurt and kill. Together, the whole family took the guns outside, made a bonfire, and destroyed them. That night, as my brother and I watched our gifts burn, we believed we were destroying all the hate in the world.
One bonfire couldn't fix everything, but some things were getting better, like the law that kept Black and white children from going to the same school. When I was in 3rd grade, that law was finally changed. My mother told Yoki and me that we'd be going to a new school in September. I didn't want to be the new kid who sat alone. Yoki felt the same way. "We don't want to go," we complained. "We don't want to be the only Black kids at school."
My mother said she'd see what she could do. The day before school started, we found out that our 3 friends, the Abernathys, would be going with us to Spring Street School. I was really glad to have my friends and my sister with me, because when we got to school, there were flash bulbs going off and TV cameras everywhere. Why did reporters want to talk to us? We were just kids going to school like everybody else.
We were each in different classrooms. It was strange to be the only Black kid in my class. I felt like everyone was staring at me the whole day. One kid even made a nasty comment. "Wouldn't you rather go to school with your own kind?" he asked. "Why aren't you at your own school?" "We're all the same kind. We're all kids, and Spring Street is my school now," I said. My father fought for all of us kids to be attending the same schools. It was what he meant when he said he dreamed of his children being judged by the content of our character and not by the color of our skin.
One school at a time. one child at a time, one heart at a time. That is how the world changed, by reaching out to other people with kindness and compassion. My father was changing minds and unfair laws. He once said, "We have a power within us which is more powerful than the power of bullets." That power was love and faith. It was a bullet that ended my father's life, but it did not stop his message. It did not stop his work. My father was there to see me start school, but he wasn't around to see me graduate. I was only 10 years old when he was killed. I was so young when my dad died, but I'm blessed with the memory of a warm and playful man, and I'm reminded of him everywhere I go. There are streets and churches and schools named for my father in almost every city in America. And on the third Monday of every January, we celebrate his birthday as a national holiday. These things honor his memory and keep his spirit alive. We must continue to change minds as my father did. We must continue my father's work for freedom and equality for all. It wasn't easy being his son, but I am so proud to be that son. And I am so proud to share his name.
Good evening, Bald Bears, and welcome back to another segment of Mindful Minute. This evening, we're going to be doing a breathing exercise called bubble breathing. In this exercise, we will pay attention to how our minds and bodies and feelings react to the moment. This exercise will help us practice controlling our breathing in a way that will help calm our minds and our bodies. So, where you are, sit comfortably, close your eyes if you like, and take a nice big inhale. And exhale. Another inhale. And exhale. Now take one more cleansing breath in and breathing out nice and slow. Now, as you inhale, think of what it's like to blow a bubble. As you fill your lungs with air, imagine a bubble on the tip of a bubble wand being filled with air. Feel your lungs fill with air just as the bubble fills with air. Inhale, filling the bubble, and exhale. Inhale to feel the bubble, and then exhale. Now, as you exhale, think of the bubble being propelled forward off the tip of the bubble wand and gently floating away into the air. Inhale, filling the bubble, and exhale, blowing the bubble away. As you imagine the bubble floating away through the air, let your thoughts about other things float away through the air too. Focus only on your breathing. Inhale, filling the bubble, and exhale, letting the bubble and your thoughts float away. Inhale, filling the bubble, and exhale, letting the bubble and your thoughts float away. Now, take note of how you're feeling. Controlling our breathing allows us to calm our bodies and our minds as we release our thoughts and focus only on the moment. How do you think bubble breathing could help you in the future? Try practicing it this week. This concludes our episode of Mindful Minute. I hope you have a nice evening. See you next time.
Hey guys! guys, it's Miss Persani. Don't forget to like and share this video. And also, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss another episode. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, you rock.